Chirag bhai, are there any issues of logging in? Chirag?
Hello?
Yeah, are there any issues?
No. They are just joining. I'm just talking to his secretary only.
Okay.
They're doing it. Don't worry. 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, finally we can see you. Niranjan bhai, you can hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to everybody. Namaskar.
Good afternoon, sir.
With all of you.
So there is one more. I think I can see two screens on your name. Is the other screen?
Yeah, now it's gone. It's
Oh,
gone.
now it's gone. Now it's gone. That's fine now.
No, I was trying to dial you, so that must have been on still.
Okay.
This was the second I tried, so it was the stuck.
Harish bhai, do we start?
I can see Siddharth Shah, Vikram Mehta, Chirag Bhai, Tejraj Jain, Nirav Mehta, Namji Bhai, Chirag Shah, Dharmesh, you're there. Okay. See Dual, nice to see you all. Harish Jain,
Thank you, sir.
Kiran, Bhavin, Deep, BDA Mumbai, I don't know who you are. Pratik, Rohit Patel, Bhavin, hi. Oh, nice. Wow. Kiran and Deep, Rohit Patel, Bhavik, Digant Parekh, Rahul Jain. Why? Too many. Lots of people. Okay.
देखा आपने difference. This is PR. See, he called out everybody individually.
Oh, nice.
So shall we start, Harish bhai?
Yes, Vikram bhai, we start.
Please.
So a warm welcome to all the panelists, to our guest speaker, Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani, sir. To the guest panelist, Mr. Vishal Thakkar, Mr. Pratik Kataria, Naredco West General Next Secretary, Siddharth Shah, and Mr. Dharmesh Chheda. A warm welcome on behalf of BDA. Niranjan bhai, we are all big fan of yours, and I don't think there's anything to. There's no flattery involved here. We all have been aspiring to do what you have done with your organization, and I think what the changes that you brought in the industry over the years have been really remarkable. I think you probably turned the whole concept of how townships should be developed on its head. Till that time, anybody who had a good enough land bank would develop a few cluster of buildings, then maybe one school here, maybe one temple there. The way you guys planned in Hiranandani Gardens, the entire layout, the footpath, the roads, the shopping areas, it's really as if a European town has come to a place called Powai. So all of us are absolutely ardent fan of yours, and we would like to hear more about you from right from the perspective of quality to the entire journey of how you've gone ahead and built the empire that Hiranandani is today. Uh, Let me confess something. Maybe every month, my wife and I make it a point to go to Hiranandani Gardens. We walk on the streets there. We go to the garden, have dinner, and come back. I think as a developer, it's most satisfying when people do that, uh, and when developers appreciate what product you've done over the years. I think that's the highest tribute one can pay. So welcome on behalf of all of us, and please enlighten us on this whole journey. But before we do that, I'll ask Harish Bhai to please say a few words about BDA. Harish Bhai.
Thank you, Vikram bhai. Good afternoon, friends. We welcome you to yet another episode of BDA webinar series, episode 12, focusing on good quality construction. Warm welcome to Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani ji. And we are really proud to have you on BDA platform, sir. Sir, in brief, just a few words about BDA. Basically, BDA is an association dealing in real estate, majorly concentrating on redevelopment projects in and around Mumbai, with currently having 500 plus developers in short span of like 11, 12 months. And BDA has been till date quite a bit successful in raising the voice all over. And due to that, many redevelopers have been joining the association. You must have heard about BDA, sir, in past, and is doing a quite good amount to get some major issues resolved like GST in redevelopment, approval issues, and many issues. So in this times, BDA has come out with one major campaign called Real Estate Hi Real Hai, to just uplift the sentiments in real estate, and we request your support in this. As well as just 2 days back, we have come up with BDA Gurukul, an education initiative for all the stakeholders in real estate, sir. Kind of small online courses, 30 hours duration, 20 hours duration, and many other things in line to come up. And in all this journey will require your support, as you being a president of Naredco, as well as yourself, sir, Hiranandani, sir. Friends, throughout today's our webinar is on quality control, and throughout our career, we have been aspired to give good quality in our projects without actually realizing what good quality is all about. Good quality is very important to create a goodwill, like Niranjan Hiranandani sir has created a brand himself, a Hiranandani brand, a well-known Indian brand all over nation. We have been suffering from various quality issues like dead wall plumbing and many issues we come across in our day-to-day life. Only using quality brands doesn't mean good quality. Good quality gets right when we use right methodology and process. Today, our esteemed guest, Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani, is an icon in our industry and known for big townships with impeccable quality control. It would not be wrong on my part to state perhaps Dr. Hiranandani has been responsible for bringing quality construction in Mumbai in India. Today, we seek from Dr. Hiranandani a clear understanding on a path to good quality and customer satisfaction. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome Dr. Hiranandani and request him to share his experience and knowledge with us. I request Vikram bhai, please take over. Thank you, sir. Unmute,
Vikram
unmute,
bhai,
unmute.
unmute. Vikram bhai.
Sorry. Chirag bhai, can you please give us brief introduction about our chief guest today, Dr.
Sure, sir.
Hiranandani?
Please,
Sure, sir.
there's
First
no
of all,
need.
sir, actually, that's the thing. They have given me the toughest task to introduce you. The person who himself doesn't need any introduction.
Short, make it
But
short.
since, yeah, of course, sir.
I,
But the achievements are not short. The problem is this. First of all, sir, thank you very much to join us in a very short notice. I would just like to start with the toughest job which these people have given me. Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani is primarily known as the co-founder and MD of Hiranandani Group. He recently started a distinct business unit known as Hiranandani Communities. Currently, he spearheads as the National President for National Real Estate Development Council, also known as NAREDCO, which works under the aegis of Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Government of India, and is also appointed President of one of the oldest trade body of India, Assamcham, Associated Chambers and Commerce and Industry. He has been conferred with the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Management with thesis on real estate. Born in 1950, Dr. Hiranandani is son of Padma Bhushan honored ENT specialist Dr. L.H. Hiranandani. He did schooling from Campion School, Mumbai, and graduated with a Bachelor's of Commerce degree with a distinction of standing second from Mumbai University. He did his FCA from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. He started his career as a chartered accountant professor and then ventured into the textile business in the late 70s. In 1981, with the establishment of Hiranandani Group, he finally embarked his entrepreneurship journey by foraying into the Indian real estate. He is known as builder extraordinaire and as the visionary man behind redesigning the skyline of Mumbai. The success journey in real estate began with the development of India's first ever global mixed-use integrated township, Hiranandani Gardens at Powai, a landmark real estate project. The group pioneers in developing vibrant community living experience by adapting global best practices. Under his leadership, the group has set the benchmark in reference to quality construction, precision engineering, technology, and innovation, timely delivery, and holistic development. The group.
Both of you.
I think
Let's-
Chirag bhai, let him start now.
Yeah,
Please,
yeah.
Niranjan bhai, we would love to hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I feel very happy to meet. I've been more than 40 years in the line, but I can congratulate your association that in a short period of 11 months, if you have been able to deliver 500 members, congratulations to all of you. Well, I don't think I've been able to associate that. I was the creator of MCHI, co-creator. I created CRIDAI, and I created MCHI, then we created CRIDAI, and then I created NAREDCO, and now continuing to be president of NAREDCO. But I don't think I had 500 members in 11 months in any of these organizations. So honestly, it is congratulations to all of you young people who will actually grow the institution into something which is very beautiful in a very, very short period of time. So I'm very proud of you and thank you very much for inviting me here today. As president of NAREDCO, I would like to invite each and every one of you to become a member so that we have a strong body like you to further represent the real estate as an industry. It's not that you can't join CRIDAI. CRIDAI is also my baby, so it doesn't matter. So both of you must, all of you must get into these associations because the more you contribute to it, the stronger the representation is there in order to get things done in the industry that is there. So that is the most important thing of all that I wanted to start with. Historically speaking, I did 11 buildings in Powai. When I did these 11 buildings in Powai, I didn't have much money. So I bought one building at a time, one plot at a time from one Mr. Valavalkar over there, and slowly built each of these 11 buildings. When I completed each of these buildings and did reasonably good building, not so good as compared to what I do now, But compared to other people, it was a good building. Whenever I looked out of the building, I used to be very unhappy. Why was I very unhappy, though I made a good building? Because if I saw the outside, the road was not properly done. There was no proper asphalt. There were no street lights on that road. There was no sewerage line. There was a very bad stormwater drain, which was really partly working and partly not working. There were no common facilities and all that. So I went around to meet all the developers over there, and we formed a small association of 220 buildings association, of which I became the secretary. Mr. Lokhandwala became the president, and chairman was Mr. Valawalkar, who owned all the land. And we built that layout and we did it. And I spent for the sewer line, water line, street lights, asphalting of roads, and making 2 gardens. All that I spent 4 rupees a foot for the entire layout, and did all the development through this association. And it was very difficult to recover the money of 4 rupees also, pro rata share for all the infrastructure done. And I realized that no matter what I do, however good my building will be, if I didn't create a reasonable side layout, so I always had an aspiration that one day, एक दिन मैं बड़ा plot लूंगा और आजू बाजू में जो भी building बनेंगे ना वो मेरा ही होगा, और जो रोड बनाऊंगा वो भी मैं बनाऊंगा, स्कूल बनाऊंगा तो मैं ही बनाऊंगा, तो सब अच्छा ही होगा. It was just a dream model in my mind as far as myself was concerned. And finally, one day, I saw this plot of land, which was very, very far away. There was no access road to Powai, through Saki Vihar Road, but very bad road. There was no Jogeshwari Vilkroli Link Road. There was hardly any connectivity to Ghatkopar. IIT was the only place, and L&T were the only things which were there at that point of time, and nobody wanted to buy that land. It had a lot of other problems also in terms of title and others, but it was relatively cheap. And it was something I could afford at that point of time. And so I took up this. The whole idea basically being that I wanted to create something where all the things that I saw would look beautiful, which meant that when I made the roads, we made concrete roads in those days. I'm talking about 1987. Many of you may have been just born at that time. And then we took up issues like we did pumping stations. We built the first sewage recycling plant in India. It is still functional at that point of time, which was in 1990, I believe. So at that point of time, and we did 4 million liters of sewage recycling. One day my father had said that you must, when you make money, you have to build a school. We started the school immediately, and we built a beautiful school. All these benchmarks of what was good was there in my mind, because fortunately I grew up in a place called Malabar Hill, and that is and was a very beautiful area. So I said everything that I make in Powai must be better than Malabar Hill. So the garden which I make must be better than Hanging Gardens and Kamala Nehru Park. The school I went to was Campion School, which is still adjudged one of the 2 best schools in South Mumbai. I said the school, Hiranandani school that I make must be better than the school of Campion that I make. My father was a doctor, a very reputed and doctor in India. And he worked in Bridge Candy Hospital, Bombay Hospital, Jaslok Hospital, Nair Hospital. And I took a decision that when I make a hospital, if I make a hospital, at that time I didn't even think of it, I said, if I make a hospital, it should be better than all these 4 hospitals. And when we built the Dr. Hiranandani Hospital, we decided that it has to be better than all these 4 hospitals. But what you're talking about is not the big things. And the big things will come later. The really thing is to take up the small thing. And I'll come to the small story, this story which is of the small thing. When we were doing the first sector in Powai, I had a chief engineer who came from a very big construction company, and I'm not going to share the name to you because it's a very famous name. And he came to me, and he was working with me for almost a year and a half when we were doing Powai. And I one day told him, I said, I want to make a building where the roofs do not leak and the bathrooms do not leak. So he was a senior person and had a very small office, and he went away from the office. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, is what he said. And I said outside, I could hear him laugh with somebody else. And I was wondering what he was laughing about. So actually, he was laughing to say that, oh, I've worked with X, Y, Z top builders in India, but we know that the roofs will leak after 2-3 years. And after 4-5 years, all plumbing leaks. And I'm talking about a story of 1987, 88, 89. I don't remember the year, but it's around that time. And I was pretty shocked because I couldn't understand why a good engineer could not make a building which doesn't leak. Or a plumbing that does not leak. I just couldn't understand, though I'm a chartered accountant by qualification, it just didn't go into my head. There was something very wrong with the thought process. And that's how I ultimately decided that this senior person who came from a very, very good background company, I asked him to resign, and he was pretty shocked because he was actually desired by so many good companies, and he got a better job than he did in my company, which was very small at that point of time. And I was very happy for him that he got a good job. But we took our junior people, and then we started studying as to how can we actually see to it that roofs do not leak. So we got the waterproofing companies to come in. And for the first time, we set a criteria for ourselves, which is that the roof should not leak for 10 years. And we would get guarantees for that. And that is how guarantees relating to waterproofing started in Mumbai. And that's how the simple thing is, the roofs don't leak. It's so simple as that. And it's simple because you make an assurance that it doesn't leak. Same thing about dead walls. We came across a position wherein the dead walls were leaking. So we changed the design of all our future buildings. And we created what was the cavity wall concept, which we did in Powai. So now we have got 165 buildings constructed, big, large, small buildings, 165 buildings which have been constructed in last 35 years, 30 years, 30 years, 33 years. Not one single building dead wall leaks. Not one. Because we created the concept, we made a commitment to ourselves, not to the customers, that it will not leak, and we will spend the extra amount to really make it happen. So none of the buildings ever leak. It never happened as far as this goes. Then we went same thing for plumbing, because we found that when we did concealed plumbing, a large amount of plumbing leaked after 4 or 5 years. So we followed the same principle and we did it. Roads are never maintained by the corporation. So we were to hand over these roads to the corporation. We decided that if we make asphalt roads, there's going to be a problem all the time. So in the private layout, nobody was allowed to make asphalt concrete roads. For the first time in Mumbai, in 1990, we got permission that in private layouts, we could make concrete roads, provided we did ducting and stuff like that. So we did that in Powai, and we did it. Then when we made gardens, we decided equally that we would do quite a differential type of gardens. And we said, each of these gardens will be unique. We created 5 beautiful large gardens. We adopted a 25-acre revenue land next to Powai on the hilltop, where we have a protected forest of 25 acres, and we did that. So environmentally, we contributed a lot from the quarry land that I purchased to whatever it is. So the idea was very simple. Of course, in those days, it was much more difficult to do quality work because nobody did quality work. The materials and ingredients of concrete was so bad, and you never had a ready-mix plant. So we did ready-mix on our site. We got bad sand. We used to have a sand washing machine, the first in India, or at least first in Maharashtra, that we had that, because a lot of sand in this area was full of silt, and which is dangerous to concrete. And we changed that. Now, of course, with ready-mix concrete, you don't have that problem at all from what we were doing at those days. So we changed plumbing, we changed waterproofing, we changed we did hot water in copper pipes for the first time in maybe 50 years. Nobody had done it before. And we took up all these things. The whole idea being that, yes, it was a cost, little more cost which was there. But we always knew that in the long run, we would be compensated for it. And we were, but not in the first stage. In the first stage, we lost money in the beginning because the first time we had to make a reputation of what the good work that we have done. And then the brand itself sold because people knew that when we buy a building from Hiranandani's, it won't leak, it won't have this problem, it will be aesthetically beautiful. We will not compromise on giving wrong areas to anybody. In fact, most of the people said we got more area than you have actually sold to us. So all these things made a difference in the long run, and we made a difference. So what was it actually that made a difference? It was not a commitment to the customer actually which made a difference. It was a commitment to ourselves. Can we continue to do for our whole life bad buildings and then deliver it to the end customer? We decided no. So we did everything that we did with a commitment that if I went and stayed in any flat, could be a small flat, but at least it would be a quality which I would be able to live in. And that was the kind of benchmark that we set for ourselves for all our buildings. And fortunately, the markets actually paid us, not in the first round, not in the second round, but in the third round of buildings that we made. It was only after these buildings were sold and resold. So when we made a building called Lake Castle in Powai, that was 89, 90, 91, we made that building. It was a beautiful building. It's still a building, beautiful building designed by Hafiz, contractor. And we completed that building. We sold it for 900 rupees a foot. And it took me 2 years to sell that building because sales was very slow in that particular period. And a lot of resistance to do it, but an extraordinary building for that time. Today, that building resells, today in this bad market, it resells at 42,000 rupees a square foot. I was a stupid idiot that I sold all the flats in that building. If I'd retained 3 flats out of the total building, I would have made as much money in those 3 flats as I made for the whole building that I made. And gigantic building, but I would have made more money in keeping 3 flats for myself and did it. I didn't. I was quite foolish. So sometimes people think I'm very clever, but I'm not. So if I'd been clever enough to keep 3 flats in all my building, I would be twice as rich as I am today. So you know how much those valuable people who bought from me, how much they made out of the whole killing, it is there. And that also is helpful because you really gave the best into it. So what is it that actually makes the difference? I think what really makes a difference is to commit to yourself, not to the customer. Many times we say we will give a commitment to the customer, so we must honor that commitment. I think that doesn't work because then we say, I have committed this much. This is what I've written. So I will not give anything more than that. Why? Because that is my specification that I have given. The real thing is to commit yourself to say, I'm going to give a good product. And if in the process of that, you give a better product than what you have already committed, that is what is going to create a reputation which makes a difference. Second, the minimum quality has to be there. You can't compromise on quality because today's date or any date from today onwards, this is not going to be acceptable. Let's say I buy a Maruti car, which is 5 lakhs of rupees, let's presume 5.5 lakhs. And you go there, does it not work well? Doesn't it look good? Isn't it got all the facilities to reach anywhere, drive around, the steering, the brakes, the clutch, the wheel, the air conditioning, all the aspects of a 4.5 lakh car also works. Or you may be having a BMW, or you have a big car, Skoda, a BMW, or any other Mercedes-Benz that you may be using, also has got a quality. But it's when you have, so it doesn't matter whether you make a Maruti or you make a BMW, or you make any range in between. It doesn't matter. What really matters is, are you committed to make a quality which you would accept as a customer for any other type of product that you are creating? Anything that you may buy. You buy a mobile phone. You buy a mobile phone. What would you expect from a mobile phone? Whether the mobile phone is worth a lakh of rupees, which is in my case, or you get a small, simple, older version of a Nokia or the others. The phones all work well. Will our buildings also work well? Second, is it durable? The life of a building is supposed to be 100 years. Of course, it should be maintained in order to live the life of 100 years. But there are buildings which builders have made, and we have made as a community, which after 10, 20, 30 years requires to be repaired, requires to be redone, requires to be connected, requires to be refitted and repaired. I mean, this is something which is nonsensical. You cannot expect that people put their life earnings into buildings and then they have to be redone and redone. I can understand redevelopment after 70 years, 60 years, 80 years, 90 years, or whatever it is, and you are in the redevelopment side. So obviously, you know what the life of the buildings are there. But you can't make new buildings today that you are going to make today in today's date and age, which actually are not of a quality which needs to be done. So a base quality has to be created. But beyond that, if you want to do, you have to see that it's your passion and your interest in it. It's nothing to do with what your architect or your engineer or your designers or your supervisors or these people to do. It has to be your commitment to create a quality product, not the architect, not the engineer, not the supervisor, not the contractor. If you make a commitment to quality, it will happen. If the engineer makes a commitment to quality, it will not happen because there's no commitment to the product to the extent to which you as an owner, you as a developer are required to make. That is the biggest difference between a person who will be respected after he's dead and gone. Today, more important is not what you give today or what you make today, but what you leave behind in posterity, what you leave behind as your heritage. That is something which is extremely important to understand of what we can do. So what is remembered as far as this is concerned? You have a VT building, you have a Gateway of India, you have a Taj Mahal hotel. These are the buildings people are not going to forget because they're so beautifully done. You don't want to know who made them, who were the contractors, who were the developers, whatever. It doesn't matter really. But you know that they are beautiful creations. And that is extremely important because we get an opportunity to create the geography of a city, of a nation. So it's nice that you get an opportunity, I get an opportunity, and we should continue to try and do. Yes, you must do a small project. It doesn't matter. Small is also beautiful. There are small things in life that you know. You have a product which is small. It's okay. It doesn't matter if it is small or big. What matters is, have you made it beautifully? Have you made it so that it really does it or not? And you must try. I know there are constraints of money. There are constraints of other problems that we have today, which is about approvals, about the cost of approvals. You have mentioned it, and your association has been ably fighting the situation. I know your member of parliament has been also part, taken some of your letters and moved it forward with the government and done it very well. You took up good leadership in that role, and I must congratulate you for that. I remember the case of defense, I think also, which was taken up by your association with our minister over there. And I think that was something which you did. So all these are things that, you know, when you do, you leave back a certain history, which becomes extremely important for us to maintain. And it is difficult, especially in this dated time. where people say, oh, ये तो अभी नहीं हो सकता, वो तो हीरानंदा ने बना दिया इसलिए बन गया. That's not true. Every generation will have people who will be able to do. And it's not about making big layouts. That's the fallacy which I see. It can be one building, it can be a small building, it can be an extension. It doesn't matter what it is. But it should be an effort to make that different, make it better, make it this thing. So many times people ask me, Niranjan Hiranandani, what next? So the answer is very, very simple. Whatever I've done yesterday, how can I do something better today? And what I do tomorrow is going to be better than what I made today or yesterday. So if I made a building 25 years ago, the people come and complain to me, not because they didn't get a good building, but I'm making better buildings after that. So my younger children are my favorites because they are now made, and those were made 25 years ago. So all the people who come and stay in the flats which were made 25 years ago, and they were very, very happy when I made the flats 25 years ago, and they loved it. But today they are very, very, very unhappy because today I make buildings which are far better. So what is it that happens? Every day I try to see, can I do something better today than what I did yesterday? So if I made a garden yesterday, can I make the next garden better than my yesterday's garden? If I made a good building yesterday, can I make the next building which is better than yesterday's building? If I'm attending a lecture yesterday to you, can I make a better lecture today than I made yesterday? So the whole of it is, it's a sense of commitment. And I'll share with you, it's not only about real estate, and it's not only about business. It's about how you look at life. So for instance, let's look at another subject which is part of my life, which is education. So in Bombay, I run 17 colleges. I run 8 schools. I have 45,000 students only in colleges. Government of Maharashtra has first time in the history of India given me a state university, which I will be heading, which will start in June of this year. So we are starting for the first time an experiment with the government of Maharashtra, which has never been preceded. Either it's a private university like D.Y. Patil and others, or it's a government university, which is like Mumbai University. In my case, it will be a government state university where the chancellor will be the governor, but I will be heading it as provost. And this will be from June of this year. And we are going to start a paradigm in education. I want to create an education which is going to be of a difference. And my commitment in the next 1 year is to set up one of the most beautiful universities in the entire world, not in Mumbai, not in Maharashtra, not in India, but the world. And we are starting this in June of 2020. So I do that. I run schools. In the last 2 months of this lockdown, my entire colleges, which are 17 colleges, I have 2,000 teachers. All of them have done lectures through the web, through the online courses, all of them. My schools, 2 schools and 8 other schools, other 8 schools, we were not effectively able to do it, but 2 of my schools, we do coaching from standard 1 to standard 12 through the net. And they conduct classes through the day. Full day classes are run in my schools. So we make that difference happen. So what is it that we do? I am a trustee of 3 temples, Srinathji Nathdwara, Babulnath Temple, and Jhulelal Temple in Kolaba. I head Naredko, as you know, as you already said, and I head ASSOCHAM. But I also belong to some 12 other organizations, including the Supreme Court of India has appointed me on Unitech, on the company, real estate company Unitech through the Supreme Court. And we are going to complete 15,000 apartments which are incomplete by Unitech, which was sold but not completed. What is it that we have to do? The idea is basically to take up each of these items, and it doesn't matter where you start. I started as a very small developer. I'm not a very religious person, but I'm still a trustee of 3 temples. So whatever I can do to contribute to make the temple better is what I do. If I have a hospital, we run the hospital very beautifully and we take care of the best. We're looking after COVID patients. We have 60 patients today in our hospitals, and we try to see how best we can contribute to look after these patients. So it's not about one aspect of work that we do. We take up each and every aspect of it and try to see, can we make a difference in whatever we do and whatever we take. And until the time I am alive, I am a learner. I will learn from you. I will learn from somebody else. I will learn all these things, because obviously, though I'm in real estate for so many years, I still keep learning about it. I'm in colleges and institutions for the last 17, 18 years. I'm looking after all of them. And I'm still a learner. I mean, handling the situation with 45,000 students during this COVID times has not been an easy task. And all these problems continue. And we still have to do ASSOCHAM work and NAREDCO work and interviews and representations to government and interviews with things. But the idea is you have to make that extra effort to see that whatever you do, it doesn't matter what you do or how little you do or whatever it is, but don't compromise on what you do. You do your level best. And I had a guru, Dada J.P. Vaswani, he died 2 years ago. And he told me one day on his birthday, and it's something I still remember. He said, don't do your best. I was quite shocked. Why should I not do best? He says, everybody says I did my best, but it didn't happen. You got to do your best and a little more. It's only when you do more than your best that you can actually do the thing rightly. Because when you do a little more, that's how your product becomes good. It doesn't matter what it is. And there's lots and lots of ways to make that little difference. So we all need to do that little more. I'm, of course, at the end of my life. I'm now 70 years plus. I was 70 on the 8th of March this year. And so I'm at the cusp of my life. You people are all very young and bright and learning and willing. As you said, 500 members plus in this association. So there is a great aspiration model in all of you. So I'm looking forward to see that, all of you make this association better, stronger. The real estate industry and the people of this city and the state and the country feel proud of the fact that, yes, you are the ones who really have made a difference. And this is something that we will leave as a contribution to this city and the country. So we all have to give our little bit. It doesn't matter how little that little bit is or how much and big that thing is. It doesn't matter. The quantum is not important. It is more important that you must do it. And I'm sure that we can all contribute to make that little difference in our lives. It's not difficult, but it has to come from the mind that I want to do it. It comes from an action to actually start doing it, and then it just follows through. And once you've done it so many times, it becomes a matter of habit. So, for instance, we have this shutdown which has taken place. I still get up at 5:30, 5:15 in the morning, and I start working immediately because I have to prepare myself for the colleges, for the education, for NAREDCO, for ASSOCHAM. I'm on my table by 8:30, 8:45, and I work up to 8, 8:30, and I take a half an hour break with my wife for lunch. And we are very busy, and I'm learning to dance. I'm learning to do the jive with my wife and over the internet. I'm learning how to use my computer a little more. That's another thing I'm learning. I'm learning about education. I'm learning about new university, how it should be developed. I'm learning how to make one of the best universities in the entire world, how we can live with the post-COVID times in education. We are working on that. We are working on skill development. We are working on online teaching. All this we are set up in the last 30 days of this lockdown. So make full use of my time. And also I'm on the TV almost every day with some channel. Either it's on TV or I'm on an online channel almost once or twice a day. I'm on an ASSOCHAM meeting at least once a day. I did one today. Yesterday I did two. Then I'm on various other platforms. The idea basically being is that we all have to do more in terms of what you can possibly do. Different people will do differently. Don't worry about that. You tell me, are you a little better today than you were yesterday? That is the most important story. Am I better tomorrow than what I am today? If I can remember and be better tomorrow than I am today, that is successful. Don't worry about benchmarking. I never benchmark myself with anybody else. I look at them as mentors. I have many mentors. I look up to them for mentoring, but I don't treat them as competition. I only treat them as my mentors. So if somebody has done something better than me, I treat him as my mentor, as my guru. And I have thousands of gurus who keep on teaching me what they have, including my dance teacher. So and I'm willing to be a good learner. I'm a good learner. I can even learn from you. So we constantly learn what we want to do and then action out immediately as to what we can possibly roll out in terms of doing. The idea is start taking the first step. Last year, I challenged myself. I'm not very musical as a person. I know how to dance, but I'm not a musical person. So I didn't do it. And I've never used a musical instrument. So I challenged myself. I said, I will learn a musical instrument. So I got a organ and I started learning the thing. But I lost interest after 2 days. Then somebody told me there is a trick to it. He said, what? I said, you must have some objective in learning it. So I was thinking, what could be my objective to learn the piano? Doesn't make sense, actually, because I'm not a musical person. So I said, okay, I'll do one thing. 5 months later, I have the birthday of my grandson. He will be 2 years old. So I decided that I will learn to play Happy Birthday on the piano, which will be 4 months later. And I was extremely busy, so I wouldn't take it. And 2 months passed and I didn't start it. I only bought the organ and it was in the house. Finally, I said, 2 months away, I must do this. And I called the teacher and he came once a week to do it. It was very difficult. Using fingers on a piano is not my strong point, I assure you. And I'm not a musical person, so it's very difficult. Anyway, in the end of 2.5 months, I played Happy Birthday on the organ for my grandson. So it's not about A or B, waterproofing or building line or education or hospitals or gardens or whatever it is or life. It's only about you wanting to do it. If you decide that I want to be and I want to do it, even if it's as strange and foreign as learning a musical instrument or doing anything, and I'm going to jive, I'll show you that after the end of this month, I've never jived before. I didn't know what was jiving. So I'm going to learn it and I will show you that I will dance the jive very well in a period of 1 month. Now, this has nothing to do with my business or my work or my income or my earning or anything in my life. It's just something that you challenge yourself that you can do it because you must challenge yourself all the time. So you challenge yourself to make a better building, you will make a better building. You challenge yourself to do something, you will do something. Yes, you may not succeed 100%, but you will do it better than you would do if you didn't challenge yourself. So you must constantly say, I will make a better building. I will make it waterproof. I will make it a better quality. I will make it a better thing. And this is nothing to do with only one thing in life. It's to do with relationships, with people, attachment. I make a commitment to you to make a speech. I must give my 100% to my communication to you. That I must pass on 100% of what I think would be good for each one of you. Yes, you may not like it. You may like it okay, you may like it good. Some people will take away something. Somebody will find it useless. Somebody will say, "Ye Buddha kya lecture de raha hai?" Somebody will say, no, I want to do it and I will follow you. So all that is going to be different. But from my end, I must do it. So from my end, the commitment is complete. From the receiver's end, it doesn't bother me. As long as I do my little bit in making the building, it doesn't matter. So I'll give you one example. I delivered one beautiful flat to an owner. He paid me very good price for it. But at the end of the day, he telephoned me after he had taken the flat. And he said, Niranjan, tumhara company bekar hai. So I said, oh shit, now what happened? What is the complaint that he's got? So he said, जब ही मुझे चाबी दिया ना, तो वो इंजीनियर खीसे से वो चाबी निकाला और ऐसे ही दे दिया मुझे. हम मारुति गाड़ी लेते हैं ना, तभी भी वो अच्छे बॉक्स में देते हैं, उसके साथ में एक चॉकलेट का बॉक्स आता है. आपका वो इंजीनियर ऐसे करके उसने वैसे दे दिया. Now he had a beautiful apartment, a beautiful place, building which is extraordinary, the flat which is beautiful, the lifts are fine, the elevation is good, entrance is, lobby is air conditioned, everything is beautiful. But my engineer gave, वो हाथ से वो निकाल के उसको दे दिया और he was very upset because when he bought a car, I'm sure he didn't buy a Maruti car because he must have bought a Mercedes or something like that. But he gave me an example of a Maruti car. कि वो मारुति गाड़ी देता है ना, तो भी एक बॉक्स में वो चाबी देता है गाड़ी का और उसके साथ में एक चॉकलेट का बॉक्स भी देता है. तुम्हारा आदमी तो ऐसे करके वो खीसे में से ढूंढ के सब उसका hands were smelly and he gave me these keys. So what really happens is it's not about the other people of what their expectation out of what you are. It's about you, how you do it. You can't make anyone completely happy. I can't make my wife happy after 45 years of marriage. So you can't make everybody happy. If I can't make my wife happy, I can't make others happy. So, but the main point is you have to make your best effort to see that the quality is good and the things are better. And automatically things will be there. Of course, people will complain. People expectations go up from what you are delivering. Naturally, they're paying you hard-earned money for the purposes of buying this flat. There's no reason why they shouldn't have expectations. And you must give it at least to the best of your expectation. So long and short of what I'm saying is, it's about making your mind, taking a decision. I will do it, have an ambition, desire it, want it, do it, action it, try your best. Whatever you did before, do it a little better. Continuously work on the ideas, see if the improvement can be done. If you have made something good, can you make it better? Can you make it still better? Can you still make it better? The older you are, is your buildings getting better or better and better or not? Not from a point of view of saying, I've given you an extra amenity. It's not about the amenity. It's about a commitment more than anything else. And I'm sure that everything will fall into place. A building will not be better or worse than the other building, but it will be better than the building you had otherwise have delivered if you had not paid attention to it. What is more important is pay attention to it and say, I will make a better building than I wanted to make yesterday. When I complete this building, I will give a little more than what I have committed to give. Can I give that little more? Can I give it a little better? Can I keep improving on it? Can I make that change to make a little better? The methodologies to be followed are not important. You can use A method, B method, C method, get an architect, get an engineer, get a consultant, get anything, and we can all learn from that. And I keep on learning. So once you learn, you use that learning. If it's working for you, use it. If you don't like it, find another consultant or another contractor or another person who will guide and teach you. But if you have no intent to improve, you cannot do it, because irrespective of what may happen, whatever you may say is not going to happen. So quality is not about amenities or money or commit. It's about a mindset and a commitment and an integrity to do something better. That is what quality is all about. It is not amenities. People think it's about money and it's about amenities. It's not. quality can also be there in low-cost construction. There can be a low-cost building and still have a quality. A Maruti and a Mercedes-Benz both have a commitment to quality, though the price range may be 10x, not 10x, more than that. That's 5 lakhs, and that's 70 lakhs. So too many times the cost. But still, there is a commitment to quality in Maruti. There's a commitment to quality in a Mercedes-Benz. There's no difference because both are commitments. Do you, as a developer, keep a commitment to yourself? Forget the customer. Customer comes second. To yourself, that you will make a good quality building, or at least that you will try your level best. Thank you very much. If there's any question, I'm happy to answer. Thank you.
Wow, that was mesmerizing to say the least. There was only
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Niranjan, there was only one contradiction in this entire half an hour talk that you gave. And that was when you said that you're 70 plus and it's now a downward journey. And then you go ahead and say that you're learning new things, you're learning dancing, you're learning music. So these two things don't go together. So I definitely don't see it as a downward journey. You're still going up. We can see that.
I have a very bad precedent. My father, the doctor, at age 82, he was a surgeon. He told me one morning at 6 o'clock that he wants to go to Germany to learn a new operation. So he went to Germany to learn a new operation from a Dr. Plester over there. Dr. Plester had come 6 years earlier to learn an operation from my father, which he had done. So he went over there. Unfortunately, at 83, my father got Parkinson's, so he couldn't use that operation too much. But he went there. So I have a precedent of my father that up to age of 82, he was constantly learner. So I've continued to do so. But your energy level comes down. It's not about the learning. The learning doesn't stop. If you really committed to learning. So the question is not of downhill. The downhill comes in terms of energy levels. So I don't expect that in the next 10 years, I will have the same energy level as I have today in terms of doing the work. But yes, my commitment to learning will continue. And I hope to God that I don't give up that habit. That is correct.
Yes.
So yes, the downhill is not going to be in learning, but yes, it will be in the energy levels. I know that it's a matter of genetic, the human being genetically defined. And but for my commitment to various things, I think even today I would not have had the energy level, but for the fact that I have so much diversified interests that the energy level still continues. Thank God for that.
This is inspiring for all of us. Here.
Thank you.
Sir, we have started this course, as Harish Bhai mentioned, BDA Gurukul, where we want to raise the skill set of the industry, not only developers, but everybody. So there are courses we are specially designing for developers, for their staff, and then down the line to the last worker on the site. We would request you to inaugurate the first such course of BDA Gurukul. Ritesh Bhai, can you share the screen? Now we'll have to do this online. So there's no ribbon, there's no physical cutting. Ritesh Bhai, can you? So the first course is about the DCPR itself. And this is for the developers specifically and the licensing staff that they have. This is designed for about a 30-hour, there will be multiple sessions spread over about 30 hours or so. And we are starting this on the 1st of June. So we took this opportunity now that you're here, that we will officially say that you have inaugurated this course for us.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Congratulations. I wish you the very, very best. And I have inaugurated. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Harish Bhai, can you say a few words about this webinar, but more than that, the appeal that you had to make for Niranjan Bhai?
Yes. Thank you, Vikram Bhai. Thank you, sir. Sir, we are very, really so grateful that we thought कि आप तो खाली कंस्ट्रक्शन क्वालिटी के बारे में बताएंगे, लेकिन आपने तो क्वालिटी लाइफ कैसे जीना है वो आपने इतने शॉर्ट में और इतने में बताया कि इट इज रियली रियली वेरी गुड फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस। सर अभी मेनली जो आपने बताया कि बीडीए ने इतने शॉर्ट टाइम में वी हैव ग्रोन एंड वी हैव रियली ग्रोन विद लाइक क्वाइट लॉट ऑफ एफर्ट एंड बहुत सारा उसके अंदर मेहनत लगी है सर इतने शॉर्ट में। तो रीडेवलपमेंट आज मुंबई के अंदर सर एक रीडेवलपमेंट ही इतना मेजर पोर्शन बच गया है टू डेवलप द सिटी सर। तो you being an president of Narratco as well as been in with so many associations and other national bodies, everywhere you have been present, and we have of lately been seeing so much of webinars you have been conducting and you have been a guest speaker everywhere. So our broad appeal is sir ki BDA is standing for redevelopment of redevelopment, and redevelopment needs, if sir it is not like पहले जैसा कि pre डिमो प्री रेरा प्री ऑनलाइन अप्रूवल्स के पहले बहुत सारा इश्यूज था कि जो दैट वाज नॉट गेटिंग रिजॉल्व्ड एंड मेनी ऑफ देम हैव टुक बेनिफिट। डेवलपर्स लोगों ने काफी कुछ किया है जिससे उनकी ये अपनी ये लाइन पूरी बदनाम हुई है। लेकिन आफ्टर ऑल दिस, आफ्टर ऑनलाइन अप्रूवल्स, आफ्टर ईओडीबी, आफ्टर रेरा, ये all this coming in place sir, now there is no scope for developer to do here and there, but then the developer is facing sir जो अभी real the developers are small, the developers cannot reach everywhere. It is very difficult for a developer to even reach to a smaller officer in a zonal office or a ward office and cannot get his issues resolved. And there is the place where BDA got so huge amount of like membership and people are coming in because the small issues are being resolved at a particular developer level. उनकी एक छोटी से छोटी चीज, जैसे सर आपने बताया कि एक चाबी भी कैसे देनी चाहिए करके, that is a very small thing but then it creates such a big impression. तो वैसा एक चीज BDA ने किया है सर। अभी इसके अंदर we are, this is not the right platform to talk on this, but then since you are here I'll surely take your 2 minutes. We need your full support, you being a president of Narratco. The major issues are like small issues of interpretation. Even a same zonal office with 2 different wards does an approval in 2 different ways and developer cannot raise his voice, sir. It is the association or it is like through whose your help or we can go ahead. तो ऐसे सर काफी सारे issues अपने महाराष्ट्र लेवल के हैं या बॉम्बे लेवल के हैं। एंड सर एक सबसे बड़ी मैं आपको पता ही होगा, आपके एरिया के साइड का ये पवई के बाजू में सर घाटकों पर नेवी इशू 2012 से आईओडीसी इशू हुआ है। पीपल आर आउट, घर होते हुए भी वो घर में रह नहीं पा रहे हैं। जैसे सीओडी का इशू तो यहाँ का लोकल का भी था, हम लोग ने लड़ झगड़ के कैसे भी करके उसको रिजोल्यूशन लाके वी स्टार्टेड ऑल दी वर्क, बट लाइक 2012 से पीपल आर आउट and there is like इतना ऐसा लगता है कि the suicide is next option for a developer or a tenant. It is इतना ये हो गया। even same चीज is with civil aviation in Chembur. So this and GST sir, GST since it has come now on redevelopment portion as per the interpretation of all the experts, GST on free flats has to be paid on the entire market value or first registered agreement. So sir, these things have to be for a redeveloper. We need a platform, we need your help and we need to take it out. We have already represented everywhere we could do it and things, and even results are coming, but then final result is not out. It takes time sir. तो सर हमको एज एन बीडीए एसोसिएशन आपका पूरा सपोर्ट चाहिए, ये हमारी अपील है सर आपसे। और इसमें हमको कहीं से कहीं अदरवाइज रीडेवलपमेंट इज ऑन डेथ बेड सर।
No, we are, no, I have been focusing just now on the national level because as you know, the situation at the national level is quite bad. So my tremendous effort is going into that area of funding, financing, government, income tax, and all these issues, and banking funding and other things also we are looking at very seriously now, and we are spending a lot of time into that at the national level. At the state level, we haven't, the Narratco Maharashtra is there, and we'll certainly take it up at that level just now. And whatever help you need from me personally, I'm very happy to participate with you. No problem at all. And also, if you can affiliate with Narratco Maharashtra, we'll work out how it should be done. And certainly, we will support all your issues that you're talking about, whichever are there, because anyway, they are doing it. And we will certainly like to do it. And a couple of you, we will bring you as members and take you into the association of Naredco Maharashtra. And then so that you can also co-represent all the issues that you're doing, not only from BDA, but also from Naredco Maharashtra. So I'll co-opt one or two of you, of your office bearers, into Naredco Maharashtra, and we will see how that can be done. And some of you people who are there, who have more projects, can also become members there. So what idea basically being, I don't want to take away your membership because that's not my objective, but the idea is to use both the association's strength independently and joint to achieve this objective, because Naredco's objective is the same as yours, to see that issues of development and redevelopment and all these are taken. We anyway take up those issues in Naredco Maharashtra. But so we'll certainly work on that, and give me 2 or 3 of your names, members, and I will get you co-opted into Naredco Maharashtra, and we'll see how that can be taken so that you can also act from that end and this end. So we will both use both our help. And wherever you need me on any issue personally, I will certainly be there with you to take up that issue. Now, I know about this issue which you're talking about, and we will certainly work together. Some of them are already working on to it in Naredco Maharashtra. I don't know what is the stage of the position from their end, but certainly you can take up this issue and I will support you 100% on that. This and anything that we need to do, we have to do it together. So
thank you for that assurance, sir.
yeah.
We already got support from yourself from Naredco, that what we are representing hence to MCGM. We have got an approval key, we'll be representing it together, Naredco and BDA.
Send a copy to Naredco. I will speak to Rajan Bandelkar, who's there just now. He's the vice president and president of the zonal body. Or he's vice president of, he's president, I think. I'll work this out and then we'll give it to you and coordinate that matter. And we'll certainly take up these issues. See, it's part of the, see, whether it is CRIDAI, whether it's Naredco, whether it's BDA, the objective is same. It's not a question. It's only that you need multiple bodies because the number of items are so many that we're not able to sort out in one association. The idea is not to be, Naredco is not competing with CRIDAI. It is actually complementary or supplementing the activities they have done. It was only because we found that CRIDAI was not effectively able to handle so much of the work that was happening at the national and local level that Naredco had to come back into expansion. And anyway, both the babies are created by me. So for me, it doesn't matter what it is. So being at the helm of it was not important. The idea was just to get work done. It's not about being president or vice president or whatever it is. It's more important to see how can we get this activity completed. That is more important. If you can attain the objectives of what we are talking about, like you have sorted this issue of the defense matter in Kandivali, the same thing, if we can achieve in the central side, we'll certainly like to do it. There's also a problem in Thane, which has got the Thane defense issues. So there are many people who are affected there also. So we'll work on all these issues. We know the defense minister. We can take up with him and see how it can be done. I know him personally. We have been meeting with him. ASOCHAM, I've worked with him on the defense exhibition in which place now? Allahabad. I'd gone there for, I had met him and they had taken up the leadership. So we know him also. So we take up these issues certainly and take it up both at the state, local level as well as the center. And we certainly need the support of the local government also.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So can we take some quick questions or?
Okay, 10 minutes.
Yeah. Can I request Dhruval Mehta to please unmute yourself and shoot your question?
Good afternoon, sir. This seems like a fanboy moment for me to interact with you. And after listening to you, I feel you are like a Mr. Perfectionist, someone to look up to. So my question is, sir, with your soothing voice and voice charm, you have maintained excellent public relationship with all the government machineries. So would you give us some tips rather, how we could also copy that and use it in our life?
Public relations comes second. Your work comes first. If you do your work first and then do public relations, then the public relations is worthwhile. So let's look at a company called Tata's. Uh, when they do good work, their ethical values and things like that, then whatever may be their public relationships automatically moves to the next level, because the work that they do, it has integrity, has honesty, has commitment, has excellence, and their growth is also equivalently good over the long run. When you don't have ethical values and you don't have commitment, you can make more money in the short run. And then you want to do public relations only to do shortcuts. Your public relations is meant to make your work easy, not to be able to do shortcuts in life. Unfortunately, in the real estate industry in the last many years, public relations is about how to cheat, and that is something which is a problem. So if you use public relationships in a positive manner, then it's a wonderful story. But there are people who use public relations. All the con men of the world have great public relations. Now, you don't want to be a con man, do you? So
Not
it's
really.
not about public relationship that it becomes important. What is important is your ethical values, your credibility, your good work. And then you have, what should I say? It's like a cherry on a pie. The pie has to be good. The cherry may or may not be good, but it looks good. So your public relationships look good, or it is the access or inability to enter the door. But if you use public relationships as a part of your life, then you will not be a successful person. Because at the end of the day, there was a person called Goebbels who convinced the entire German race that they had superior blood. So they should kill all the Jews and that they were superior to the entire world. Goebbels' public relationship with the people of Germany made the whole German race feel that they are the strongest race in the world. The Jews are an inferior race and they should conquer the entire world. Why should the British have so many colonies and Germany did not have? So Goebbels and Hitler declared World War II. They had the best public relationship with the people of Germany. But the end of it was that they wanted to destroy the entire world or capture it. So public relations is in its own place. The answer is yes. The more public relationships you have, the better it is. It's easy to access and it's good to have it. I also have good public relationship. But if I misuse and abuse public relationships in order to do it, there's so many con men. They have fantastic public relationships. Lots of con men in this country have public relationships which are 100 times better than Niranjan Hiranandani's public relationship. But that's not important. So public relationship is an enabler, it's a tool. It's like a knife. A knife can be used to cut vegetables and it can kill somebody. So public relationship is like that. So if you use public relationships in a positive manner, then it is an enabler, it's a tool, it's positive. But if you use it because you want to get some favors done each and every time that you want to not do some work, then public relationship is a tool which is abused and misused. So everything is useful, a knife is useful, but the knife can kill. So if you use public relationships well, intelligence well, money well, then it's good. But if you use it badly, the same money, which is good money, used for good things, can be bad money if you use it in bad ways. So money is not bad or good. How you use money is bad or good. Same way for public relationships or any other quality in life.
Thank you, sir. Quite profound, actually.
At my age, it's okay.
Thanks.
Pratik bhai, do you have any questions, please?
Yes, sir. Sir, Pratik Kataria here from Finance Developers. I have been privileged enough to work in your team under your leadership right now. So my question being, I have every time in a meeting with you, you do come and greet each and every one quite warmly. I know building such a massive empire, a team needs to be there wherein the team has to have that ability. please give us some ideas, some learnings, how to develop such teams that we can go on and on with, please.
Teams are like political parties. They have a life and they have a death. They have a use and they have a misuse. They have an abuse and they have good qualities. So if a team is a Bharatiya Janata Party, they were good opposition at a time. They're a good party now. They have good leadership now and they will do good work. If they don't do good work, they'll be a bad. So teams are all about that. How do you use a team is very important. So if your team is going to do good work and continue to do good work, then that's a great team. So the interest of the team should always be not about only leadership, but it should also be what is it that I'm going to achieve. So if you ask me about any of my institutions that I work with, I'm more interested to know what can I contribute to this team? What can I do in this college? What can I do in this school? What can I do in this temple? What can I do in this hospital? In Naredco, what can I do? In BDA, what can I do? In ASSOCHAM, what can I do? So it's all about what can I do for so-and-so. If you do that, and there are more people in a team which are contributing as compared to who are taking away from that team is going to be good. So if you have a football team which actually has more people who make scores then and put in more effort to be a better team, the team is a good team. It's only when the team has more useless people than good people that the team is ineffective or useless. It doesn't matter how old the team is. So I'm now in ASSOCHAM in the centenary year. So I'm Niranjan Hiranandani is the president of ASSOCHAM in the 100th year of ASSOCHAM. So we have had good presidents, we have had bad presidents, we had good secretary generals, we have had bad secretary generals. But the association has had more good than bad. That is why it still continues to be there after 100 years. How many associations continue for 100 years? How many? Not many. So the idea basically being, but the moment associations contribute and give more than what they just take, it'll always give. So why is Niranjan Hiranandani wanted? Because I give more than what I take. That's it. So in any association, my objective is very simple. Can I give and walk out? If I give and walk out, I will always be wanted. But if I take and be there, I'll be not wanted. That's that simple. So the teams always work better when you continuously give. That's all. So if you give, you'll be wanted. If you don't give, you'll not be wanted, though you may still be president or vice president or secretary or whatever it is. That's a different story. That's a political position. But this thing is not there. So Narendra Modi is a person who has done so much for the country. So he's a fantastic person, and he gives to the BJP team hugely and unbelievable, unprecedented. So he's a leader of the team, and that's how the teams continue to grow and become bigger.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I believe you're running out of time. I believe you're in a hurry. So I'll
Now
ask Bhavin Bhai to say the vote of thanks on behalf of all of us.
Thank you.
Unmute Bhavin Bhai.
Thank you, Vikram Bhai. What an inspiring session we had today. Of course, we knew it beforehand only that when we have a stalwart like Niranjan Bhai as the speaker, the session has to be an inspiring one. On behalf of BDA, I would like to thank Dr. Hiranandani for spending time with us and enlightening us on quality aspects in construction. I thank BDA for organizing this excellent webinar. Also, I would like to thank our guests, the panelists for the evening, and each and every participant to make the program successful. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
I think
Thank
Nitin
you,
Bhai is
everyone.
saying something. Nitin Bhai is saying something.
Thank you, sir.
Vikram Bhai.
Yeah, whoever wants to say can unmute.
Bolo.
Nitin Bhai is saying something.
Hello. Sir, thank you very much for your valuable time.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.